On September 15th, 2021, I started an online coaching business called Smart Coach with my wife, Jess. It's been 2 years and 9 months since we started that business, and we've generated over $6.9 million cash collected, approaching 8 figures in revenue, and we've done that all with one Instagram account. Now, in this video, I want to show you step by step how we did that and the decisions we made at every stage of our business. So when we were making no money, going to 6 figures, what decisions we made, how we got clients, when we went from 6 to 7 figures, the decisions we made, mistakes we made, lessons learned, and then going from 7 to now approaching almost 8 figures, what are we doing to grow our business? What does the business look like? And what changes have we needed to make? Now, I hope you get a lot of value from this video. If you are an online coach, an educator, a course creator, you own a membership, this is going to be an extremely valuable video for you. I'm going to walk you through everything step by step. So let's dive in. Now, first of all, let me just provide a little bit of context, a little bit of background. So I have had other successful businesses in the past. This is not my first successful business. I've had a social media agency that was quite successful. We had high profile clients. We worked with athletes, celebrities, really high level entrepreneurs. And after that, I started doing business coaching. And I've had other business coaching programs and things like that in the past, but a lot of it was one-on-one coaching. And that's kind of what I got into doing after this social media agency, because I had social media skills and I wanted to share that with other people in a way where I did it with them instead of doing it for them. That's actually how I met Jess. So I was offering one-on-one business coaching, and Jess at the time, she was the number one or top sales rep in several different companies, and she is just an absolute killer at sales. And so when we met, she was looking to start a business, and she actually hired me to coach her on how to take her sales skills and turn it into a coaching business where she could teach other entrepreneurs how to improve their sales, how to get more sales, how to improve their close rates and things like that. And actually, after a little while of kind of hanging out, we decided to meet in person, and we actually kind of fell in love, and it's a pretty funny story. But I've actually been living with Jess since the first day that I met her, thanks to COVID. So we kind of got together, and then we started building our businesses alongside each other. I was doing one-on-one business coaching. Jess was doing one-on-one business coaching, but more with a sales focus. And over time, our businesses just became more and more similar. And as we lived together, we just decided that maybe it would be cool if we partnered in business. She was kind of doing similar things to me, and maybe we could just partner up. And we decided to do that, and we decided to start this company called Smart Coach. And so in this video, I'm going to show you from that day when we started Smart Coach, what did we do step by step to build this business from nothing to now an 8-figure business. Let's dive in. I'm going to pull up a little presentation here, and I'm going to go through it with you. So going from 0 to 6 figures, this is exactly what we did. So Jess and I had already had our own one-on-one coaching clients. We were already kind of posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, and just kind of getting clients through word of mouth and organically. And what we decided to do when we started Smart Coach was we decided that we wouldn't really change that much about what we were doing. We wanted to do the lowest risk possible thing because we actually weren't even sure how our business partnership would work out. We weren't sure, being in a relationship and being business partners, are we going to actually work well together? Is this going to affect our relationship? And, that could be a video for another day, working with your romantic partner. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would want to see. But what we did was more or less what we were already doing. But I think it's important to show you that because this is how we made our initial cash flow. So what we did at the time was, first of all, we started with the offer, right? So we wanted to, again, do the lowest risk thing. We didn't want to build anything. We didn't want to spend a lot of time. We wanted to start making money right now. And the easiest way to do that is to sell one-on-one coaching by far. And the reason for that is because if we sat around and built a group coaching program or an online course or membership, we would have to outline it. We'd have to create a portal. We would have to buy softwares. We would have to spend all this time filming course content, creating it. It literally might take us like a month, sometimes 2 months to actually create all of that stuff. And so what we decided to do was test out what we were doing first before we ever decided to spend 2 to 3 months building this entire structure, where when we're done with it and we go out there and we try to sell it, we're not even sure if people actually even want what we're selling, right? And that's a mistake I see so many people make. They start with an online course, they start with a group coaching program, they spend like 3 months of their time building this thing, and then what happens is they kind of got their thesis wrong, and people actually didn't want the thing that they made their course about, and then they have a really hard time selling it, and then they kind of lose confidence, and they might either give up on their business, or if they're really strong, they will do it again and actually try to get the messaging right this time. So the smartest thing to do when you're starting a business is, number one, create the easiest offer possible, the one that takes you no time investment to make and allows you to generate money immediately. And then what you do is you go out to the marketplace with it and you test your messaging, right? Because the messaging informs what you actually sell. So if we think that, we want to help online coaches get clients, and that's like our idea, and we're like, we'll offer one-on-one coaching on how online coaches can get clients. Well, imagine if we built a program about that and then nobody cared about it, right? We'd have to go out to the market again and kind of see what people cared about. And so what we did was we did exactly that. We said, let's do one-on-one coaching. We'll sell it at a high ticket price. That way, number one, clients are highly committed. Number two, we're getting the best possible clients. And number three, we're able to get our clients really good results because they're committed, and charging a high ticket price allows us to save as much time as possible, work with fewer clients, spend more time with those clients, which also helps those clients get better results. So I would always start with one-on-one coaching when you're getting your business started. And I would always start with a high ticket price because, if you have a job or something, we didn't at this time, but if you do, you got to replace your income. If you're selling online coaching for like $100 a month or something, my gosh, you've got to get like 100 clients to actually leave your job, And so with us, the way we were doing it, it's like if we were charging $2,000 a month or something like that, and we had a job, we didn't, but let's just say we did, we really only need to get like 2 clients, right? Anybody can get 2 clients. You don't need an audience. You don't need a website. You don't need anything complicated. You can actually just do what I'm explaining here. We decided to sell one-on-one coaching to test it out and see if, what we thought about what people wanted was actually true. And, once we started getting some sales and stuff, that's when we can, change kind of what we're doing into an online course. But first, it's one-on-one coaching. So literally what we sold was a weekly call. That's it. This was how we decided to get clients to be able to sell that. So we were on Instagram posting a daily Instagram post and daily Instagram stories. And we shared those over to Facebook. And one thing we supplemented this with was a little bit of outreach. People who were in our audience, following us, commenting on our stuff, liking our content, or we just happened to see a person online asking questions about business or something, and we thought, we could probably help this person, we would reach out to them. And so these 3 things generated attention in our business. This is how we got a brand awareness. This is how we got in front of people. And what we did with all 3 of these things was we tried to just have people message us. We wanted to either message them first or get them to message us and start a conversation. If we could just start a conversation with people who might need our help, we thought, we could talk to them about their goals. We could talk to them about their problems. We could talk to them about, anything that they might be struggling with that we might be able to help with. And what we found was, we would message people, people would message us, and we could have that conversation, and we would offer them a sales call. And on that sales call, if we decided that we were able to actually help them with their problems, we would offer them one-on-one coaching. And this was a successful funnel. Like, this worked for us. It's really, really simple. And, in one of our programs, it's called Spark, this is actually what we teach our clients as well. We just teach them really simple stuff on how to, post good content that attracts in clients, grows your audience, how to have the right type of messenger conversation with them, how to have a sales call with them and do it well. A lot of people think that the sales call is really simple. I've got a script and stuff like that. Sales is a skill. It takes time to learn. You're probably going to suck at it at first. I know I did. You're always getting better at it through reps. But this whole thing requires skill, the skill of creating content, the skill of having conversations, the skill of having a sales conversation, and then obviously the skill of delivering results to your clients. And so this is what we did at first, and it started to work pretty good. And so what we decided to do was get a little bit of leverage on our time, and we actually just decided to outsource this outreach part. So we hired our first team member who's still with us today. She's an absolute blessing. She's an absolute saint. And what she did was she would go on our social media every day and find out, who was interested in our stuff, who's consistently liking our content, who's consistently watching our stories, who's consistently messaging us stuff, who's commenting. And we would just reach out to those people and see, if they needed help. And so many of these people, what's funny about it is so many of these people, they would be like, wow, I would never reach out to you. I'm so glad you reached out to me because I've just been watching your content and I really need help in my business. And so a lot of these people we turn into sales, and we're able to generate our first 6 figures doing that. So once we started kind of generating a pretty good income from doing that, we had a lot of recurring clients. We kind of got to a place where we had too many one-on-one clients. And when you have too many one-on-one clients, a couple things happen. Number one, you don't have any time anymore, right? So you have income, but you don't have time. And in order to get your time back, you need to get leverage. And so one way to get leverage is to change the structure of what you're offering. So we turned our service, which was one-on-one coaching, into a product, which is group coaching. And we transitioned from one-on-one to group. That was the first step we made in really trying to scale our business. And I would only recommend that someone really makes this transition once they're making, I don't know, maybe like $8,000 a month, or they really have a good client flow going with one-on-one coaching. Because if you don't have a good client flow going with one-on-one coaching, group coaching is harder to sell than one-on-one coaching. People value one-on-one coaching more than they value group coaching because they think that they're going to get better results because they have more intimacy in the program. And so if you can't sell one-on-one coaching, you're definitely not going to be able to sell group coaching. And so we made that transition since we were really selling a lot of one-on-one coaching. And basically, we kept it super simple. Just an online course that people went through on their own. Then we had a weekly group call. So we turned our one-on-one call into a weekly group call where, we might have 20 people on that group call. And then we offered some in-between support on a messaging platform where people could ask us questions all throughout the week. And this allowed us to take, let's say, 20 one-on-one clients that we're having 20 calls with every week. And we turned it into a group coaching program where we had one group coaching call per week. And so we turned 20 calls into one call. And so we got a lot of our time back. Now, let's talk about how we decided to, sell the group coaching. So, with the group coaching, the thing that makes it different than the one-on-one is I can have a one-on-one client pay me $1,000 a month, for example, every month recurring. And they might pay me that for 3 months. They might pay me that for 6 months. They may pay me that for a year, 2 years, however long they want to be a client for. When you're selling group coaching, you have to have a really good sales process because it's a one-off sale. It's not really a recurring sale, right? Like one-on-one coaching is kind of like almost like a membership, just keeps going. And group coaching is more like, oh, you're going to pay me $5,000 for this 90-day program. And when it's done, and you're not going to continue to pay me. And so you have to be better at generating more sales to be able to do the group coaching. And that's why I was saying, if you can't sell the one-on-one, don't do the group coaching yet. And so we just kept our same process to get sales. The only thing we did was we changed the one-on-one coaching to the group coaching here. One thing was we needed more leads. We needed a lot more leads if we wanted to grow our business. And we decided to start running ads in addition to what we were doing organically. So we kept this process running where we created this. But what was happening was, every month, let's say we were making like 30 grand a month, and we kind of just were doing that at the same level all the time. Our accounts were growing a little bit, but you can only reach out to so many people a day. You can only post so many times on Instagram a day. We were looking for a way to like double, triple, 5 times what we were doing, and we didn't have a lot of control over what was happening here. We only had a little bit of control, and it was kind of just generating a consistent income. So we decided, something we could do to get more traffic, more attention, generate more leads in a way that we have a lot of control over is ads. We saw a lot of people running ads, and so we decided that that's what we would try to do. Now, when it comes to the ads, this was a challenge, and I want to share some lessons with you about getting ads started if that's something that you've ever thought about in your business, because there's definitely a lot to know, and there's definitely a lot to look out for. And so in our space, the coaching space, there is a very specific sales process and funnel that's very popular that pretty much everybody does. And, because of that, I went through, lots of Facebook advertising courses. I hired lots of mentors, and I learned this way of generating customers. And the problem was that this way of generating customers, it didn't really work for us. And it does work for other people, but we could not get it working for us. So let me explain to you how it works. Basically, you run Facebook ads to a landing page. And on this landing page, you give someone a promise. So it's basically like this: sign up, give me your name and your email, and I will send you my free training on how to do X, Y, and Z. It's not necessarily a webinar. It's an immediate video. So you would sign up on this page, and then you get redirected to a page with a video. It's a really simple page, and the video is usually like 5 to 15 minutes long. And the video, basically what it does is it sells you on a sales call. So it talks to you about your process and how to get results and all the results you've had in the past and stuff like that. And then at the end of the video, it's like, hey, if you want to implement this, yourself and get results like us, book a call with us down below. And it's just a video and a button on the page. And so the idea is that you run ads, people sign up, they immediately watch this video. And if they don't watch the video, like they leave the page or something like that, or they don't book a sales call immediately, then, you have their email address. So you would send them emails all the time and try to get them to book a sales call. And eventually the goal of these two things is to book a sales call. And then what we would be doing is selling them our group coaching. This process, I tried to get this working for like a long time, like 3 months, 6 months, a year. I tried it a lot of different times. I recorded like 15 different sales videos. We made so many different changes. We even hired several ad agencies to try to get this funnel working for us. People who, guaranteed us results and, promised the world to us that they would be able to, take what we had working already and basically, turn it into this process. They're like, we're the best in the world at it. This is a super simple process. And nothing against this process. It does work for some people, but let me tell you what I didn't like about it. And, some of the problems I think that happen with this funnel. Number one, pretty much everybody is doing this. Like every single coach, consultant, course creator, like that sells high ticket programs, a lot of them are doing it this way. And so when you run ads to promote like a free training, people like don't really care about it the way that they used to. This is kind of like it still works. I'm not going to say it doesn't work, but it's a lot harder to get working because, people who are responding to Facebook ads have seen it so many times that they might just watch the training and they're less responsive to actually the sales tactics and funnels inside of this. The second thing I don't like about it is when you generate leads with Facebook ads and people sign up with their email address, you have no idea if they're good leads. So when someone gives you their email address, you can't see a picture of their face. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know how much money they're making. You don't know anything about this person. You just got their email address, and now they're watching this video. And so And also you're sending them out emails, right? And so you can see, whether or not this is working for you based on, is it actually booking sales calls? Are you getting customers and stuff like that? But let's say that it doesn't work and you don't get any sales calls. It's really hard to figure out what you should change to fix it because you don't know how the leads are. So like you might think, oh, there's something wrong with my sales video. Maybe that's why people aren't booking the call. They don't like what I'm talking about. Or it's like, yeah, a lot of the people that are signing up from these Facebook ads, they don't have any money. And there's no way for you to know which thing you need to change. And so it just becomes really complicated and really, honestly, super difficult to actually run this funnel. And so we tried this for a long time. We spent a bunch of money. We hired ad agencies. Nobody could get it working for us. And we were a little bit upset about it because we really wanted to start scaling our business. And so this is the first paid ads funnel that we tried, and it didn't work for us. This is trying to scale part 2. So we kind of regrouped after that, and we decided to try a totally different approach to getting more customers for our business. So at this time, we're doing the same organic stuff. We're still generating the same amount of sales, but we're trying to build this alternative way to get clients that is going to be a lot more scalable, it's going to be a lot more automated, and is going to, hypothetically really grow our business. And so with this one, we got into doing this strategy because I have a lot of experience growing Facebook groups in the past. We did stuff like that years ago. I did in other businesses, and I had success growing a Facebook group. And so I thought, well, if we can get people into a Facebook group, well, then we can get them to message us and we can have a sales call and we could sell them group coaching, very similar to what we were already doing organically. And the cool thing about a Facebook group is that we could run ads to the Facebook group to grow it. And so I thought, okay, this is kind of like a paid ads and organic strategy. And so we're really relying on our strengths, which is that we're really good at organic marketing. And so if we could just run ads into our organic marketing, maybe that would work. And so what we did was, we started running Facebook ads to our Facebook group. And every day we would get, 20, 30, 40 new members in our Facebook group. And what we would do is 2 things. One is we would get their email before they join the group. And so we could send them emails all the time and try to get them to book sales calls, very similar to how this worked up here. But then what else we did was we messaged them. So we would create content in the Facebook group that got people to message us. When people joined the Facebook group, we would message them. And this was automated because we had that person on our team who was basically having all of these conversations all the time. And so we were focused on getting people into this Facebook group and creating content, and they were focused on starting these conversations to get these sales calls booked. Actually, this process actually did work for us. It worked pretty good. It didn't work crazy good. It was expensive to actually, this whole thing to get a customer was quite expensive. And so at the time, the business wasn't as profitable as we really wanted it to be. It was quite profitable, but it was not really up to the standard of where we were super excited about this process. At first, we were really excited because we got ads working and this was working for us. And we really saw that ads at that time could be a thing where we put more money into it and we just get more money out of it and we get more customers and it just becomes effortless to scale like that. But basically, this was only working okay. And then what happened was we had an epiphany, which is that we realized that we were just doing things the hard way. So what we were doing here was really like a long strategy. We're running ads to a Facebook group, and then we would get people into Messenger and have a sales call with them. And so what we realized was we actually could just remove the Facebook group entirely out of the process. We could just run ads straight into Messenger. We learned about, Messenger ads where you could just literally run an ad straight into Messenger. And so what was happening in this process that made it really inefficient was that we were running ads into the Facebook group and then we were trying to message these people. And really, we would only ever be able to get into a messenger conversation with like 30% of the people who joined our Facebook group. And so when we made the change to remove the Facebook group and just run ads straight into Messenger, now everyone who responded to our ads, we were in a Messenger conversation with. And so what the new process looked like was this. So we actually were on Instagram. Facebook was working for us less than Instagram. So what we actually did was we got rid of Facebook entirely. We just stopped posting on Facebook. We shut down our Facebook group, and we just decided that Instagram is where we get most of our customers. And if we can run Instagram Messenger ads into our Messenger inbox where we're already having conversations with people and we're already booking sales calls and selling them group coaching, it's already working. We could literally just scale what is working. And I don't know why this took us so long to figure this out, but we had been for a long time, like almost a year, been creating content on Instagram, driving them into a Messenger conversation, or starting a conversation with them and driving them into a Messenger conversation, hopping on a sales call and selling them group coaching really, really, really successfully. And so we thought, okay, we had like this big epiphany where we thought, why are we driving people into a Facebook group or trying to get them on our email list or trying to send them to a page when actually it's what's working in our business right now is creating content on Instagram, getting them into a Messenger conversation, a sales call, and then selling them group coaching. So what we decided to do was basically just scale the number of Messenger conversations we were having on Instagram. So we thought like, all right, we're having, let's say, 20 Messenger conversations a day, and we're getting, we're making $30,000 a month. Well, if we can, 5 times the Messenger conversations we're having, now we have 100 Messenger conversations a day. Well, we should be able to hypothetically 5 times our business and start making, like $120,000 a month. And so that's exactly what we did. We started running Instagram ads into our Messenger. And what we also did was something very interesting. So instead of just having Messenger conversations like we were before, we actually took the sales video from this process up here that was working for, so many people, but we couldn't get working for us, was we took this sales video that positioned the sales call and got people to actually book, and we actually inserted it into our process down here. And so what this process actually is it basically uses your Instagram as like a website or like a landing page where you're already creating content there. We're already doing all of that stuff. So it is already working. Like we already knew people liked it. We're just driving people there. And then we're driving them into our Messenger inbox where the sales video is. And then we're having a sales call and doing group coaching. So actually this process here is exactly the same as this process where we're running ads to a page, Instagram. We're getting them into a Messenger conversation where we send them a sales video. We have a sales call and we do group coaching. But here are the things that are so much better about the way that we're doing it in our sales funnel than what you're seeing right here. Number one, we don't need to have email. So we're only managing one channel. We're just doing Instagram and we're growing Instagram. And at the time, basically at the time, and even now, this is just one Instagram account, okay? And so what's cool about it is on Instagram, when people message you, you don't have that problem where you're collecting emails and you don't know whether or not they're good leads. When someone messages you on Instagram, you can go to their page and you can tell pretty easily if this person has money, if they're successful, if they're your ideal type of client, because there's literally a bio on their Instagram page. You could see all their content. And so when it comes to, changing your Instagram ads and trying to get them to be better, it's really easy to see what ads are generating good leads. And it's easy to just turn off ads that aren't generating good leads and just spend more money on the ones that are generating good leads, because with these Messenger conversations that like this person's a good lead. You can literally just look at their profile and see it. And then what else is really cool about it is the sales video shortened our Messenger conversation process like 3 times. So now we're able to have a shorter conversation and book a sales call faster. And what's also really cool about it is that in the other sales funnel where you're sending emails and you're doing all this different stuff, emails are so easy to ignore. You know how what the open rate is on an email? I think it's like 20% usually. And so the open rate on messenger conversations is like 99%. When you're in a messenger conversation with someone and they show interest in what you're doing, the likelihood that they're going to respond to you again is like 99%. So when people are in this conversation and they fall off or they disappear or they are no longer interested or something like that, we're able to follow up with them directly on their social media account versus sending out a broad blasted message on email, which gets a very low response rate. And one of the reasons why it gets a very low response rate is because it's not personalized. So with Instagram ads, when you run it into an Instagram messenger, we're able to literally talk to someone and customize every single step of the sales process from when they first meet us to when they're actually buying our program exactly to them. So we have a messenger script and a process we bring someone through. We have a sales call script and a process we bring someone through. But every single person, every single conversation is custom tailored to that person. And so what that does is it actually increases the conversion rate we get through this process. Because imagine if someone just sent out an email blast that was really general. What are the chances that that email blast is going to exactly talk to your goals, your problems, your specific struggles, right? It might do it for some people, but it's definitely not going to do it for 100% of people. And so with a messenger conversation, we are able to do that with 100% of people. If someone says, I want to grow my business because I want to retire my wife or my husband, we can tell them like, hey, you should watch this video. I think it's going to help you, understand how to get more clients online so that you can retire your wife or husband, right? If someone else wants to do something different, they want to travel the world, we can say, oh, yes, this process is going to be super good for you. And just like our other client who, went through this process and got results, they're able to travel the world now. Here's a testimonial from them. And being able to customize it like that increases the conversion rate so much. It's crazy. And so what ended up happening was we started getting customers really, really cheap. And we started growing our Instagram account and we started really, really scaling up our business with a really simple model. Like this is so simple, right? Like you just run ads, you have conversations with people, you have a sales call, they're in your program. So easy. And so our business literally exploded. And what happened was we actually started getting too many clients. And so we basically, from this point on, had completely dialed in a super predictable way to get clients and customers in our business to the point where we could just literally spend more money and get more customers on the ads. And that's it. Like anytime we want another customer, I just spend a little bit more money on ads and we just get more customers. It's extremely easy, super predictable. It has never been a problem ever again since we started implementing this process. Actually, the big problem for us now is that we have too many clients and we need to hire a team and we need to change our program to be able to accommodate all these clients. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about right now, which is that, our business started scaling like crazy. And so once our business started scaling like crazy, I'm going to show you how we fixed each one of these problems and what we did. And so, what I just kind of showed you where, we're doing the organic process of like posting on Instagram, doing the Instagram stories, setting up the messenger sequence with the sales video and the sales call and stuff like that. That is what we teach in one of our programs called Spark. And we show new coaches, entrepreneurs, creators how to go from $0 to $10,000 a month in 90 days with a ROI guarantee because this process works so well. We offer that to our clients. And that's like that process, right? Now, what we're getting into here is what we teach in one of our higher level programs called Up Level. And so after someone has grown their one-on-one coaching business, they're pretty good at organic marketing, they're getting customers consistently, they could start running ads like I just talked about. And then they can start hiring a team to where, the team actually takes over the responsibility for these different parts of the business. And you can start to get a lot of your time back. And without sacrificing how much money you're making. So the business can keep growing itself. You have a team running it, and basically you get to a place where the team actually grows the business for you and you kind of own the business versus having to do everything in the business all the time. And so that's kind of the phase that we're getting into now. And so, scaling like crazy, basically we just kind of call this like, it's almost like a hybrid funnel where we're doing like organic stuff on Instagram. We're still doing the outreach because those leads are just available, right? Like if someone follows you on Instagram, why would you not reach out to them? If someone comments on your Instagram posts and they like love your content, why would you not reach out to them and start a conversation about how you might be able to help that person? And so we were doing those, we're doing the Instagram ads. And what started happening was the very first thing that started happening was we had way too many leads, like way too many leads. We were having like thousands of messenger conversations every month. And it just got so crazy that, we actually needed to hire someone in here. And so we had hired someone already, like I kind of mentioned earlier, to do some of this outreach, but they were working part-time, very minimally. And so we decided to bring them on full-time to basically be in charge of this part of our process, where they 8 hours a day were on Instagram, on their phone, just chatting with people about their problems and chatting with people and sending them this video and trying to book us sales calls. And once we did that, what ended up happening was the next problem was that we actually had too many sales calls. So at this point in time, Jess was, because she was so good at sales, was really the person who was doing a lot of the sales calls. And so, at this point, we are booking so many sales calls every week, like dozens of sales calls. And it just became to the point where Jess was literally 40 hours a week just talking to people on the phone and selling them stuff. And so we decided that that's not possible anymore. There's too many calls for her to handle. And so we actually decided to hire a closer, which is, a sales rep to actually just get on all of those calls for our company. And so once we did that, we were in a place where we were no longer having to really message people ourselves. We were no longer really having to do these sales calls. The ads and getting people into this process is more or less automated because of they're advertising, right? So we're just spending money, we're running ads, and we're generating leads. The leads are getting managed. The calls are getting booked. The calls are, getting taken care of by our team now. And we got to a place where actually we just had too many clients at this point. And so that is kind of the biggest problem in our business today is actually we have too many clients, and managing those clients, making sure that everyone still gets results and that everyone's really happy and that we can accommodate people and deliver a level of intimacy in our program. We actually had to change the way that we were doing the group coaching program. And so at the time, we had been doing it like this, right? Where we had a group coaching program and it was super simple. So we had an online course that was self-paced. We had a weekly group coaching call, and then we had chat support in between. Now, the weekly group coaching call, what ended up happening to that was that we basically, it just kept growing. So we would have like 20 clients on a weekly group coaching call. And we realized that, 15 to 20 clients, that was like the max. You can't have like more than 15 to 20 clients on a group coaching call, because what happens is people have to wait, 2 hours, 2.5 hours to be able to ask you questions. And that's not a good client experience. So what we decided to do was break these weekly group calls into other group calls. So we were doing a call like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and each of those calls had like 20 clients in them. And even at that point, we just decided, if we keep doing this, we're going to be at a place similar to one-on-one coaching where we have like 25 weekly group coaching calls every week. And it still wasn't the best experience for the customer, because even if there's 10 or 15 people on a weekly group coaching call, some clients like that, but it's not as individually tailored to them. And so what we decided to do was we actually came up with this new structure. And this didn't happen all at once. We went through some different iterations of how we actually built this. But one of the first things we introduced was basically weekly trainings. So instead of doing weekly group coaching calls, we did weekly trainings. So we had a training on mindset, we have a training on sales, and we have a training on content. And we have really, really high level experts teaching each of those things. So our content girl, for example, she does a weekly content call. She's got like 150, 200,000 followers on Instagram. She's on Instagram every day. She's got her own business. She makes a lot of money with it. And she's, dialed in, and she's every week talking about what's new on Instagram. How do you create better content? She's auditing people's content. We're going through it. On the weekly sales training, we are pulling up people's actual sales calls and watching them as a group and literally saying, oh, at this point in the call, you probably could have made this sale if you had said X, Y, and Z. And so people are getting better at improving that skill set. And we're doing the same thing with mindset, right? Because when you start a business, sometimes you get in your own way with your mindset and things can become a challenge with, fear of rejection, putting yourself out there. What do your friends and family think? You have an upset client. What do you do about it? Things like that. So we implemented these weekly trainings on topic specific things. And then what we started doing was implementing an ROI guarantee. So in this other group coaching program, we actually weren't guaranteeing results for our clients. And now we do, because this worked so well. And the process that I've gone over with you here is what we teach our clients. It works so well for us. It works so well for them. We actually started tracking their results, and we just decided that like so many people get results in the program within, the program timeframe, that we could actually guarantee their results. So now what we do is when someone joins one of our programs, we actually guarantee their results in writing. We sign a contract. And what that means is that if you don't get results in the program, we basically work with you for a period of time until you do. And so we have an extremely high success rate. Very, very few people don't get results in our programs. Obviously, nothing's 100%, but we're at a place now where legally we literally guarantee results because, the tracking of our client results is so dialed in that we actually can do that, which is pretty cool. I think, for a business coaching program to be able to do that, something that I'm actually really proud of, because, starting your business is a big risk, and, it can really alleviate a lot of that stress that somebody has when they first start joining their business. Oh, am I going to get results? What if it doesn't work? So we just kind of like take that risk away, which is pretty cool. And then the last thing that we did was we actually just decided to implement one-on-one coaching. So we decided that at scale, at the level we're at now, which is we're making, $700,000 a month in revenue right now, and that's growing every single month, that one-on-one coaching, surprisingly, is actually the most scalable thing, because we can hire one-on-one coaches to have a weekly call with every student, and the students love it. Like, people who join our programs love that, because instead of being on a weekly call for 2 hours, they're on a weekly call for 20 minutes or something, where they can immediately ask their questions. They can get that support, and anything in between, they just have this chat support here. They can talk to their coach. And so not only did this structure allow us to go from this to this and allow us to accommodate more customers, it actually allowed us to get our customers even better results, because they have more intimate support. They have guaranteed results. They have weekly trainings, and it's just so much better. And so what ended up happening was, our business just grew like crazy, right? And so I took this screenshot like a couple days ago where, we're at almost like $7 million cash collected just in the past 2 years, growing our business, doing over $500,000 a month cash collected, closer to like $700,000 or $800,000 in revenue. And so we're getting up to a place now where by the end of the year, we'll probably be doing about $1 million a month and really starting to hit that 8-figure level. And what's cool about it is that it's all from the same process. We're only using one Instagram account. We just do it on Jess's Instagram account, on my wife's Instagram account. Actually, now the place we're in is I'm starting to post content. That's why you're, watching this video. I want to start sharing a lot of the stuff that we learned, because I've kind of been heads down, like growing the business in the background. Jess has kind of been posting the content, running the Instagram account, running the sales team. And we've just learned so much stuff about business and how to grow it that now on this YouTube channel, I'm going to really be sharing this type of information about how did we get here? How did we do it? How can you do it? And that same process is the same process we take our clients through, right? So we start them out organically. We get them dialed in with a really low risk, low cost strategy that helps them make money quickly doing one-on-one coaching. And once that works, it's so easy to scale your business because, like I was saying earlier, if you're posting content on Instagram, driving people into a messenger conversation, having a sales call, and selling them something, and that works, all you need to do is literally just run ads into that same process, and it's going to work the exact same. It's just going to scale infinitely. And so that actually becomes the easiest part of the business once you get the organic marketing stuff down. And so that's what we teach in one of our beginner programs. And then, of course, we teach the hiring and how to scale in one of our later programs. And so, look at some of these results that our clients get. So, Danielle was able to hit $100,000 just since starting back in June. She's having a 30K months. Camille is, booking, $8,000 in the first 6 days of the month. We're getting people just absolutely insane results where, Holly, so she's in one of our more advanced programs, and, she's literally flying on a plane to Thailand, and her VA is handling the messenger conversation for her and her team, and they're booking sales literally while she's traveling, right? Like, how cool is that? That's like the coolest thing like that could ever happen, right? Is you're flying on a plane to Thailand and, you're literally making thousands of dollars while you're doing that. Pretty cool. So this person, $40,000 today. We're shook next month, $50,000. Officially made my first $25,000 month ever in March. And then look at this, a couple weeks later, a couple months later, just got our numbers back for the week, $13,000 week, right? So she's starting to get closer to like a $50,000 month just after she was hitting 25,000. So this process, right, is super, super effective, super, super dialed in, super easy to implement. It's like, doesn't require you to like build a crazy website, doesn't require you to like have a ton of cash, doesn't require you to have a big audience. That's another thing is, we've grown from 0 to 30,000 followers on Instagram just by running ads, right? With super targeted ads. But what's really cool about this is that, when we work with people, a lot of times we just exceed their expectations. And that's the thing that really makes me excited. Like, she's like, before I joined, I just wanted consistent 10K months, right? And now she's having consistent 10K weeks. Like, that is crazy. And so, just wanted to show you a little bit about some of the results that actually come out of this type of funnel and talk to you a little bit about like, what do we do next? Where do we go from here? Well, if you're an online coach or you're a creator or you're someone who wants to, post content on Instagram, build a personal brand, create stuff on the internet, share lessons from your life, lessons learned, you're an educator, you're an expert on something, and you want to build a coaching business or an online course business, shoot me a message on Instagram. My DMs are wide open. I'm also available for questions. I'm also available for content ideas. You want me to make, videos about anything that you're interested in. And let's have a conversation and let's see if we can't get you the help you need or the support you need or the content you need to continue to help grow your business. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.